To elaborate on examples from all regions, we will explore how different aspects of diplomacy have evolved across the globe, using both historical case studies and related document templates. Each region presents unique methods of diplomatic practice, influenced by local cultures, histories, and political climates. Let's break this down by region, using historical examples to explain the evolution of diplomatic practices, and how they connect with corresponding document templates. 1. North America. North America's diplomatic practices have been shaped by both its proximity to global superpowers and its diverse geopolitical dynamics. Hospitality example. The 1978 Camp David Accords, United States. This historic event showcased President Jimmy Carter's role in hosting key foreign leaders, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin. The diplomacy was not only about negotiation but also about hospitality. By hosting these leaders at the serene Camp David retreat, Carter aimed to foster trust, create a conducive environment for talks, and ultimately broker the peace treaty, Quand, 1986. Document template, diplomatic notes. For cases like the Camp David Accords, diplomatic notes are exchanged between the parties involved. These formal, written communications clarify the terms of agreements, reaffirm intentions, and document the specifics of decisions made during such high-stakes meetings. Entertainment example. 2010 Vancouver Olympics, Canada. The Vancouver Winter Olympics were a tool of cultural diplomacy, demonstrating Canada's role as a leader in peace and environmental sustainability. Through art exhibitions, cultural performances, and hosting international dignitaries, Canada promoted its national values while solidifying bilateral ties with participating countries. McIntosh and Hawes, 2011. Document template, official invitations. To host such international events, Canada would send formal invitations to heads of state, encouraging participation in both the games and various diplomatic events surrounding them. These invitations typically include details of the event, the protocols to be followed, and security considerations. 2. Europe. Europe has long been the hub of diplomatic innovation, from the Congress of Vienna in the 19th century to modern European Union, EU, diplomacy. Hospitality example. The 1941 Atlantic Charter Meeting, United Kingdom. This pivotal meeting between Winston Churchill and Franklin D. Roosevelt, held aboard a battleship, was a symbol of Anglo-American unity during World War II. It was a moment of hospitality between two powerful allies, laying the foundation for the post-war international order. Kimball, 1997. Document template, joint statements. After such meetings, leaders often issue joint statements that highlight the points of agreement and future commitments. These joint statements also serve as a way to communicate the outcomes to the public and international community. Entertainment example. The 1936 Berlin Olympics, Germany. Adolf Hitler used the games as a propaganda tool to project the strength of Nazi Germany to the world. The event itself was a mix of entertainment and political messaging, demonstrating the use of cultural diplomacy to further an ideological agenda. Kruger, 2003. Document template, press releases. Following an event like the Berlin Olympics, the issuing of press releases is common. In such cases, these statements would have been crafted not just to inform the public, but also to shape the perception of the regime's strength and ideologies. 3. Asia. Asia's diplomatic history has been shaped by both its colonial past and the rise of economic powers in recent decades. Hospitality example. 1972 Nixon visit to China. This diplomatic moment was groundbreaking for its historical significance in the context of the Cold War. President Richard Nixon's visit to China, hosted by Chairman Mao Zedong, marked a dramatic shift in Sino-American relations. The hospitality extended by China was designed to break a 25-year diplomatic standoff and reorient the U.S. foreign policy towards China. Kissinger, 2011. Document template, Memorandum of Understanding, MOU. A country like China, post-1972, would use MOUs to formalize agreements after diplomatic visits. These documents outline cooperative agreements, particularly in areas like trade, security, or cultural exchange. Entertainment example. Festival of India, 1982, India. India used cultural diplomacy through this event in London to promote its diverse heritage. It was a strategic attempt to forge stronger diplomatic ties with the UK and other countries by showcasing Indian art, dance, and culture. Terror, 1997. Document template, cultural exchange agreements. Countries often create formal documents to outline the specifics of cultural exchanges. These agreements typically detail the events, the responsible entities, and the agreed upon goals, such as increasing cultural understanding or fostering future collaborations. 4. Africa. African diplomacy has been highly influenced by colonial legacies, Pan-African movements, and more recently, economic and security concerns. Hospitality example. 1976 Festac, Nigeria. Nigeria hosted the Festival of Black Arts and Culture to celebrate African heritage and promote Pan-African unity. The event was a significant diplomatic gesture, positioning Nigeria as a leader in cultural diplomacy. Mazrui, 1986. Document template, visa diplomatic requests. Hosting large international events like Festac requires a host country to manage visas for foreign delegates. These requests are formalized through diplomatic notes and clearance requests for the movement of international guests. Entertainment example. 2010 FIFA World Cup, South Africa. Hosting the World Cup was more than just an international sporting event, it was South Africa's opportunity to enhance its global standing, both diplomatically and economically. The event helped reshape perceptions of the country on the international stage. Cornelissen, 2011. Document template, official invitations. The South African government would issue official invitations to heads of state and other dignitaries to attend the World Cup. These invitations would follow strict diplomatic protocol to ensure the high-level guests' attendance. 5. South America. South America's diplomatic practices are often intertwined with trade agreements, cultural diplomacy, and the pursuit of regional unity. Hospitality example. 2014 World Cup, Brazil. The World Cup was used as a diplomatic tool to position Brazil as an emerging power in the global economy. It showcased Brazil's commitment to international cooperation and its readiness to host large-scale global events. Gaffney, 2014. Document template, protocol for hosting state visits. Large international events often come with extensive protocol for hosting state visits. For instance, Brazil would have followed a detailed protocol for welcoming foreign heads of state to the World Cup, including security arrangements, cultural showcases, and meetings with Brazilian officials. Entertainment example. Buenos Aires Tango Festival, Argentina. Argentina used the Tango Festival as a tool for public diplomacy, aiming to strengthen bilateral ties and promote its culture globally. The festival was a diplomatic gesture to showcase Argentina's rich cultural heritage. Taylor, 1998. Document template, cultural exchange agreements. Argentina likely formalized its participation in such events through cultural exchange agreements, specifying the goals of fostering cultural ties, international understanding, and the specifics of performances and exhibitions. Conclusion. From North America's diplomatic hospitality at Camp David to South America's cultural exchange programs, each region has developed unique methods of engaging with the world. These practices, whether through hosting key leaders, leveraging cultural events, or engaging in high-level diplomatic correspondence, highlight the diverse ways diplomacy is conducted. At the same time, these practices require carefully structured documents, such as diplomatic notes, MOs, official invitations, and cultural exchange agreements, to formalize and ensure successful diplomatic outcomes. These examples serve as reflections of each region's values, priorities, and strategies in the global diplomatic arena. Here are the references for the historical case studies and the information provided.